Hey everybody, welcome to another art stream. This is Nathan Bonner. I am the creator of Indavo, Seamus Stone, and the artist of the Big Muddy Monster comic. It's the true tale of the Repurposing Illinois own, plural, cryptid. It's a very Bigfoot-like creature, and we're getting ready to come out with issue 2, which is what I've been working on, which is why there haven't been art streams. I've been largely, well, at least for the last portion of the comic, been working on paper, which, you know, is not very streamable, unfortunately. So I was actually the idea that these pages might sell later for extra profit on top of what I'm being paid for. Just one of those art things. I haven't sold any NFTs for the digital copies yet. I need to work on that. I maybe missed the boat on that. Okay, all right, anyway. So I'm working on episode 2 of Indavo 3.0. Episode 1 is up and ready for viewing. If any cast members are listening, I'll be contacting you this week to give you the script for episode 2 and to tell you the date of the actual voice recording. Work will begin after that in earnest in July. Meaning that sometime in the fall, episode 2 should be completed. I'll show you a start. But right now, what I'm working on is actual asset creation. Okay, so we've been working on this EOS guard officer dude. And as we left last time, the bone structure was in mayhem. I had going to have two separate bone controls. And I was like looking at this in the interim, and I thought better of it. I thought, oh, this is actually terrible. This is a bad idea and will cause nothing but problems. So what I did is I went to the Mazra bone layer here, and I just copied off those head bones and put them onto the main bone layer up here for the US guard officer bone layer here at the top. And I checked to make sure that all the smart bones still operated the head as it should, and it does. So haha. So now we're going to use them to double smart bone. Ooh, because now we're going to set them to as program elements for the guard head, the regular guard head that we see here that is new, that I created last time. And we're going to get started on that right now. So we're going to start with header. No. We're going to start out much easier here. Always start with the small stuff on the smart boning. So I'm going to bring my actions panel into view so that you may see it. Oh, there it is. Some actions. Okay, this is going to be complicated. Let's see if I can make this a bit smaller. It doesn't need to be huge. All right, there we go. We're going to hide this guy right about here. So let's go to the bone layer and let's select our first smart bone that we're going to do. For this one, we're going to do the eyes up, down, smart control. So selecting that, we're on the bone, making sure we're on the bone layer. We go here to the new action button and we click that bad boy and it says eye up, down, which is the name of our bone. Always a good sign. So we're going to click on that guy and oh, there we are. So it is not necessary to put a keyframe right here. I know what everyone may be thinking. I thought this too. Oh, when you're smart boning, you got to put a key. No. This allows things to be a lot more programmable with the other, or compatible with the other smart bones. So don't put a keyframe on frame 1. So we're going to go to frame 48, which is at the 2-second mark, and we're going to go up. So we're going to take the rotate tool and we're going to rotate it up. Hold down the shift key to get a nice 45-degree angle there, and then we're going to go out to 96 or the 4-second mark, and we're going to hold down a shift key, still using the rotation thing, and we're going to rotate that straight up because that's where those eyes are going. Now there's no need, probably didn't need to put this extra one in here since we're not keyframing here. I could have just went straight for the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete that extra keyframe because you know what? Don't overcomplicate things. Force of habit there because I was working on head turns for a secret character for episode 3. Not so secret, really, but anyway. I'd like to show you that one, but unfortunately I haven't worked out the outfit yet. So now we're going to go down to our eyes. Now, unlike the Mazra eyes, this Malaran officer, his eyes will go in tandem. There will not be any individual operational things. And I always forget to loop the music. You know, that's a problem. Sort of checklist. That'd be too organized. You gotta fly by the seat of your pants sometimes. Okay, well, his eyes are already up, so we're done here. No. We're going to really move them up in behind his eyebrow. So we're going to grab these pupils using the point selection tool. Now we're going to use the point transform tool. Hold down on shift and just bring that up into about the middle of the eyebrow there. That's probably way beyond where the mask is, but that's fine. So we're going to go to here. We're going to do the same thing. Oh, look at that. We're going to do the same thing. It's almost like it knew that I was going to do that. How fascinating. Reading my mind. Actually, no, I probably had it selected before when I was creating it. So, let's see what it looks like. Going backward in the timeline, that brings them both back down to the proper location. Excellent. All right, we're going to save, and we're going to go back up to the main line. Okay, now go up to the bone layer again. All right, now I'm going to go zoom back out. And we still have the eye up down bone created, which is what we need. Selected is what we need. Now we're going to create the second smart bone action here by clicking the new action button. And it says eye up down 2, which is what the name of the bone is. So that's always great. And the timeline turns blue, which also means that that is working as it should be. So now we're going to go back into here. We're going to select that guy. Now we're going to use the transform or rotate tool to rotate down, holding shift. Probably don't have to, but I do anyway. It's a good habit. Okay, now we're going to go to the yeah. I know what you're thinking. Is this guy such a loon in day-to-day life? And I'd like to say yes. No, not really. But when you're arting, you gotta get into art mode, and kind of does come out. So maybe I'm trying to be more entertaining than I should. I don't know. Anyway, we just grabbed using the point selection tool. I selected each one on each layer and used the transform tool to pull them down. Okay, so now let's take a look here. Whoa. Okay, that's really good. That's some really good movement there. All right, so now we're going to go back up to the main line. Zoom back out. Okay, now we're going to move on to the eye side to side. Sounds like I'm saying something out of Wheel of Time. I don't know if there are any Wheel of Time fans listening, but so far I found the Amazon series to be passable. Not bad. Of course, I've never read the books. If I've read the books, I'd have a very differing opinion. It's probably like Rings of Power. If you've not read anything Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power may seem good to you. If you've read anything of Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power is not that great. Season 2 was an improvement over Season 1. I'll give them that. Okay, so we select the eye side to side bone. And we're going to hit the rotator, and we're going to hold down, and we're just going to rotate that all the way over at the 4. And guess what I did? I've screwed up because I was talking and wasn't paying attention to what I was doing one bit. So we're not going to do that at all. That is bad. Go back to the 0 form. Okay. We forgot to create an action. Oh, yeah. So it's the name of the bone. That's great. Okay. And the timeline turns blue. That's your first indication that I was messing up massively. Wow. Let's reselect the bone using our transfer tool, holding down shift key. Flatten that bad boy out, and we're going to go back up to the pupil layers, and let's go over here to these pupils and grab these guys. So we're going to drag these guys off to the side in the direction of the bone, which would be like this. Nice side eye you're giving there, Chief. Aha, he's probably that Chief. Well, he might be a Chief, actually. Now think about it, he's probably, well, he says officer, so he would not be a Chief. Been ensign or lieutenant or something like that. I need to double check the script. I may have something to that effect in the script. Anyway, so bam, that's it. Let's double check. Yeah, that's looking good. All right, now back to the main line. Let's not mess up like that again. Rookie mistake. Sometimes I'm talking and I'm not thinking. Okay, back up to the bone layer. Make sure that bone is selected. New action. And it's got the bone name with the space and 2 there. Exit sign. Our timeline has turned blue. And we are... Ooh, I don't know why that body turn was selected Oh, now that I think about it. Well, I'm not going to worry about that right now. That can come back to bite me later. Okay. If there is a problem, it may not be a problem at all. I don't want to raise anybody's alarm into panic just yet. Rule 1, don't panic. Sage advice. Thanks, Dougie. All right, so I just, using the same technique, had moved those pupils over like that. Now we should have some eye controls. Let's check and see how our eye controls actually work. Now, this is kind of, his head's kind of small, but we might be able to see here if I were to select off that. Aha! Okay, now we're going to go to the actual bone manipulator tool, and look at that. Whoa! His eyes do seem to work pretty good. All right, that's good. All right. Excellent. Now, usually what I still do is I continue on the eyes. Now, okay, so I've got 2 brows and 2 blinks. This character does not need to have the wink ability, so what I'm going to do is I'm only going to use 1, I repeat, 1 of these bones on each for the blink and for the brow. He's not going to do a Mr. Spock quizzical look, or he's not going to be winking at the camera. And when he's been redesigned and into a background character, or tweaked and put into a background character, he won't need any of these features. His current expression is currently quite good for that. Okay, so we're going to go to the right blink. Make sure we're on the main line, on the bone layer, and to the right blink. And I'd like to apologize to everybody who might be posting in here. I never keep the chat up. Whoa, that's a problem. Anyway. I need 3 monitors. I've only got 2. So this is a good call for like getting another monitor, putting it on a swing arm above me or something off to the side maybe. Something to think about. Use all the ill-gotten gains from these videos. Oh wait, I'm not monetized. Whoop. Yeah. Okay, so having right blink selected and on the bone layer and mainline selected, we're going to hit new action. Oh, bum, bum, bum. We have a problem. Uh-oh. This is when my glorious plan may run afoul. Ah! No. Negative. Incorrect. None of the above. Haha. These bone positions already exist. But what doesn't exist is the layer changes in the guard head. Or the head guard head that I made in all these layers. So we still have the bone programming, but we don't have the layer programming. So we'll go to doing the layer programming. So, right. I'm freaking myself out. So what we're going to do is we're going to double click on the already made one. And there's already a keyframe. Look at that. So because we're co-opting this, it's going to be doing for 2 different things. And this is a switch layer between the 2 heads. So right now he's going to close his eyes. So we're going to grab the right eye. Boop, boop, boop. And we're going to close this as best I can. Now let's go back to just the transform tool. And we're going to try and line that up as closely as possible. Now that's going to maybe close him down. All right, about there. Okay, that's not bad. And I got to make sure these 2 are very close. Let's see if I can move. I don't have my brushes on that one. Let's see if I can just do that. If I can do that, that might work. But no, yes, no, yes, no. There we go. That's not bad. All right, let's see what we got. All right, hey, that's yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, now since we're not doing a wink feature, we're going to go ahead and do the other eye. So we're going to go down to our right eye, into the, what also says right eye, but it is not. I did it to the left eye. Oh, previously, but no, they're in different group folders. It'll be fine. I'm sure no confusions or possible catastrophe could ever happen because of that. So I'm just going to, on a programming note, I did have originally the window open because it's really kind of nice, and in Southern Illinois it may we usually is, but then the neighborhood started to kind of come alive with kids screaming and people riding on Harleys and whatnot, so that kind of made that to be kind of infeasible that we'd have randos screaming as they walk down the street outside, which would be rather disconcerting. So we're just going to not do that this time. And then next time. All right. So let's see what we got here. That's good. All right. Okay. So now we're going to go back up to the main line. Okay. So as I said before, let's go back up to the bone layer. Okay. So that's blink there. So we're going to go blink 2. Let's check blink 2 and see where blink 2, if blink 2 is functioning as it should. It goes up. Aha! So therefore, we are ready to proceed. Like I said, this one also exists because the Maras has a surprise feature in his eyeballs. And now they're not done being surprised. They were surprised by Indavo, Rachel, and Guaranteed, but they have more insidious surprises awaiting for them in the palace of the Empire of the Sword, which is sword-shaped. I'm not going to go into my King and the Sword of Damocles rant this time, but rest assured it's never far from my thoughts. So we have checked the bones, made sure we're on frame 96 at the 4-second mark. We got our point tool. We're just going to make this guy look a little surprised. Surprised to be alive. His eyes are kind of bulbous anyway. Sure we kind of go down. Let's kind of make sure we kind of go down to make sure he's getting it. Interesting effect. All right, so we're going to go down here a little bit too, a little bit down here, and we're going to raise this up to right about here. There we go. Okay, and with those eyebrows gone, see, you look super duper surprised. Watch that nose. In fact, I just saw something on that nose that I need to change right now. So, okay, let's go back down to the baseline here. Sorry, main line. Baseline. Oh, yeah, okay, I see what's going on. He's too far over. But that's not a big problem because I'm going to just go ahead and just alter the nose. We've not done anything with the nose. We're just going to alter the nose up just a little bit so it's not quite as problematic in that regard. And hit save. Always hit save. Very important. So, let's test out these features now that we've also corrected the nose a bit. Mighty schnoz. All right, let's go to frame, let's say 1, and just kind of move some stuff around and see what happens. Okay. This is, I can't believe you just said that look. So very nice, very nice, very nice. So we're just going to delete all those keyframes out because we don't need them. It's just for the testing. And that's actually functioning quite well. All right, so same for the brow. Now, second verse, same as the first. I'm going to go right brow. Both brows are going to be uniformly controlled, and it's going in the down position, so he's going to go furrowing. We're going to collapse the file folders for the eyes. We do not need them anymore, I think. Anyway, let's get that left brow. Okay, so this is the angering position. I'm getting angry in. This is the, oh, I did not mean to scale. I meant to move. Okay, now I'm going to go and move some of these individual points around to make it a little bit more presentable. Too much more presentable. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, now we're going to do the right brow in a quite a similar fashion. Actually, let's select all. And let's do a bit of move and a little bit of rotating. There's my rotate. Sometimes it doesn't show up. There's probably a way of making it happen all the time. Okay, individual points. Ooh. Okay, so a little bit, and up a little bit there. Seems pretty similar. Okay, let's see what this looks like. All right, good. Okay, back up to the main line. The bone layer. Let's select that brow 2. Let's make sure that that brow 2 is in the upward position, because sometimes you can pre-program 2 positions and cause all sorts of problems. So if that were down again, that would be a massive problem and cause things not to function at all, probably. So it is. So now these eyebrows must go up into the surprise configuration. All right, so now we selected that. Now we're into that. So we're going to do a little bit of rotating. All right. Generally speaking, that's pretty good where we want it. Yeah. Has the look of shock and alarm. Yeah. Okay, so let's kind of get these guys to be into the actual points here to kind of get them a little bit more concisely figured so they look a little bit closer. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, that's good. We're gonna go with that. Very good. Okay, so we've got the blinks, we've got the brows, we've got the eye movements. Now we've got to do head up down for a little bit of pivoting in the when somebody's head on. Now he has a head bone, so on side views, 3/4 views, he can tilt his head up and down, no problem. We don't really need that, but for that forward view, I'm going to go ahead and rig this. It's rigging it that all out through that bone there. That could cause problems in the turns. So we're not going to do that. We're going to do it as a special smart bone. So, which is already constructed, so that's really handy. So going there, back to your standard Surly configuration. Head up down. We're going to select the head up down. The head up down already should exist. Head up down does not exist. That's extraordinary. So the Mazra does not have a head up down. He must have lost it. Oh, no. I'm not in the right. See, I was on the bone layer. Ha ha ha. Always return to the bone layer, or else you won't be able to see your smart bones and you'll begin to wonder if things weren't programmed for the other head. And they were, so that's fortunate. Okay, so it looks like I went to frame 120 or 5 seconds up and it's going ahead. So he is going to tilt his head up and look down his nose at everything. I'm sure he loves to do this. He's the character type. Even before he was taken over by the Mazras, or his body was snatched by the Mazras, or duplicated by the Mazras. Anyway, he's not the real guy. The real guy's dead, but whenever they take over somebody, they do get their memories. So Mazros must be very insidious and lack complete total empathy, because living with somebody's life memories even up to the point you killed them, I think would be very difficult. So those guys must really suck. Anyway. What's the delight in cruelty? That's probably it. Yeah, something like that. Let's see. Yeah, yes, this is good. All right, this looks like he's tilting the nose up at you. Very nice. All right, so the nose is just the beginning here. In fact, the nose needs to go up a little bit more, doesn't it? Oh, yes, the entire nose needs to go up just a skosh more. So we're going to select everything, hold down Shift key, and we're going to drag everything up just a little bit more so he's really looking down his... Ooh, that may be too much. Really looking down his nose at you. All right. So let's move some eyes. I'm going to select both eyes at the same time, and I'm going to use the layer transform tool here to transform both of them at the same time. Holding down the Shift key, we're going to move up to right about here. I could potentially shrink that down just a skosh. That nice effect. Ooh, very nice so far. Okay, that's good. Now let's get these brows at the same rate or just separately. No. I'll do them separately with the points instead of trying to do the layer thing all the time. So, I got to use my transform tool. Using T. Let's kind of shrink that down right about there. Okay, and for this brow, I'm gonna hit Control and A for select all and use the transform tool to bring that up to right about here. Ooh, and I am 1 frame off on those guys. I accidentally hit the space button. Or the arrow keys. I don't think I hit the arrow keys. Okay, so far so good. This is looking not bad. Not looking bad. All right, let's move the mouth up by using our layer transform tool, and we're just going to move that up right about here. And I'm going to move on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, looking really good so far. Let's quickly do the easier stuff first before we get into the too complicated stuff with the hair and the face. Let's get them ears moving. So his ears are going to move down. Slightly pivoting down. Oh, nice little parallaxing effect there. Okay, let's get that. Let's get those sideburns. Are going to this is tricky. Move these guys. Nope. I don't need them to. Nah, I'm scaling it up all the way, and that's not what I need. Okay, well, let's just do the point select tools, and we're just going to select 3 of those points instead of all those points, and we're just going to move them down. And we'll figure out the rest of the configuration once I move the top hair off, so we don't need it. Yeah, we'll just hit these guys right here. Now Shift key to make sure everything doesn't move side to side. And up. Shoot. All right. Hey, okay. So the hair front thing. Yes, what's going to happen with that? Well, that is going to go up too. So, but that top of that head's going to come down too. We need to shift that guy up to right about there. All right, not bad. Okay, so the hair back. Simple stuff first. Holding down Shift key, we've got all the points of the hair back selected. We're just going to knock that down right about there. And it's not a big problem since you really don't see it. So he's got a buzz cut. You don't really see that back just yet, but it may become important later. So we have some hair front pieces to adjust on the points. So we're going to do that to kind of make that look a little bit better. And okay, so to bring that in here. Yes, there's a black line showing up from his head there, which that's the top of his head. He does not have a bald spot. We are going to now edit out the face. So we're going to drag this down a little bit to right about there, and then we're going to drag that face up to here, like so. Okay, now I need to change some individual pieces in order to sell this effect better. Okay, so we're going to move this guys. Now shift key, going to move them straight up. Let's see what we got. A nice sense there that the brows are protruding ever so slightly. I like that. All right, hey, that's good. So that's the pivot up or tilt up for head up down. Oh, back to your bone layer and to the main line. Double click on the main line. All right, over there. Let us take a look at head down too. So find out where that keyframe is. It is also on 5. Excellent. Okay, so second verse same as the first. Now we're going to pivot everything down. So starting with the schnoz. All points selected. We're just going to drag this guy down just a bit, and we're going to scale a little bit down. Now, that's fine and all. But what we really need to do, what we really need to do is we need to take this to there. That's there, that there. And I need to move that little out of the way. That little out of the way. Now we're just going to kind of pivot these guys just a slight bit so we kind of get the idea. This is N. Yes. That's good. All right. So yeah, the nose is pretty much the primary mover here. I base everything on that. So if I mess up the nose, and I mess up everything else. And you know what? I may have messed up the nose. No. I think it'll be fine. I'll make it work. So we're gonna move these eyes down. Wow. That looks very, very sad. He's having a bad day. Perhaps. Those brows are going to go way down because they've got a bit of the protruding brow. Not really went down at all. Okay, drop this down a little bit more. There we go. Ah, yes. Okay, now let's move that mouth. That mouth has got to move down. Okay, that's not bad. We'll take it. Okay, those ears. These ears are going to do the exact opposite. They're going to move up ever so slightly. Even more than what I had planned. Okay, and then the hair front is going to move in the downward position. And you may see his bald patch now. Oh, wait, no, he doesn't have a bald patch. Sorry about that. No offense if it does. I mean, it does happen to people as they get older. See what this looks like. Yeah, that's not that bad. Now, okay, the sideburns need to move with them ears, so we don't have many problems. Yeah, but now we're getting to the nitty gritty. We're gonna have to select more of the points in order to shift them up appropriately. We have 3 points and I need 4 points. So we're going to do that right now. Okay, so. Yeah, it looks like we're ready for the, not quite yet. Hair back of his head will go up. And I can see now that his face needs to come down a little bit too. All right. Sorry about that. I do not, repeat, we do not need his face to be like this. The top of his head to be this tall, so we're going to shrink that down just a skosh. Oh, and those sideburns need to be cleaned up this slightly. Ooh. What has happened is T4 select, T4 transform. Those are the hotkeys, by the way, if you're wondering what I'm saying. So you can go. You want to select points, you hit G. Transform the points you select, you hit T, and now you can do so. And sometimes when you're on transform, you can select 2, and sometimes you'll just move the point randomly because that's just how things go. General mulch noises. Okay. Well, we got some problems because I've been doing that on the wrong side. Uh-huh. I did that on, I did that on everything. Make sure everything, no keyframes on the 4-second mark. Make sure they're on the 5. Ha! Could have been catastrophic. Oh yeah, so you always have to make sure that your keyframes are where they should be. Oh, I just realized something on the other head up down that I need to do at the 5-second mark on the face, which I did not quite do. It's a small thing, but I would notice the shadow. Shadow nose. And we can't have that. So, bam. All right. It's safe. Let's go back down to the other one. Okay, back in the smart bone that we were currently working on before I realized I had screwed things up massively. Let's move things individually in order to ensure that they're not going to fly apart completely. Okay, so selecting those guys, transform tool, holding down on the shift key. We're going to transform these guys down. And we're going to do the same. Oh, G to select. All right. E to transform. Now we're going to drag these guys down. Now, his face is going to get a little bit longer, I believe, as he's pivoting down. Maybe a little bit more in. So we're going to bring these guys in just a skosh more. See what we got here. Oh yeah, that's looking very good. Okay, the shape still of the general face is still wrong. Let's go ahead and do the shadow, at least here, because I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that too awfully much. There, and there. Okay. I shouldn't have done that because I have to change the face now. Okay, so we're going to get some movement here on his jawline. Ooh, on his jawline and not the shadow. Okay. So let's go ahead and just pretend this is just a little bit more down. Okay. Now what we have to do is we have to move individual lines a slight bit to kind of get the idea that his features are kind of angling in a bit as he turns his head down. Oh, well, his chin is angled out too much. I overdid that. All right. Unfortunate. Another one in there? No, there's not another one there. It's going to have to just go. All right. Yeah, it's just going to have to go like that. All right. As best I can. All right, well, that's fine. This one needs to come back down a little bit more, and yeah, it's not bad. Let's bring that up just a skosh. Yeah, his flank. Ooh, see. Sometimes that trying to select with your transform tool, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and yeah, it's not really an indication when that's going to be. Alrighty, so there we go. Head pivot. Head down. So let's go to the main line and check this out. Let's go up here to the bone layer, onto the main line. Okay, so we have everything except for the head turn. Let us see. Okay. Ah. Haughty look of indifference. Check. Sad that the coffee's gone in the commissary. Check. Steely Dan determination. Check. Reading an email from the boss. Check. Impending doom look. Check. All right, hey, that looks pretty dang good there. So, we're ready to move on to the head turn. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. The head turn also exists as well because it's coded in for the Ma-Ras. So, we are going to go down to the head turn. Action. Head turn 1. Now, these are delineated by into 2-second intervals, keyframes going up to the 8-second mark, which is frame 192. This represents the full 180-degree turn. So this is going to look odd because he's not going to turn, but his head will completely twist off. This is also fixed in the body turn, has already compensated in for the head bone. Turn bone will move as the body turn does. And if it doesn't, I shall make it so. So therefore, it won't look like your head's twisting off. Unless you really want it to look like that. And then that's fine. You can keep them independent of each other. That's what you're going for. I mean, it depends on what your storyboards and the script call for. What are you trying to achieve with your head turns? Very important to consider these things. All right, so we're going to go to this 2-second mark and stop babbling. Okay, so let's get this going. So, this is our 3/4 view. And as always, I am going to begin with the nose. Okay, so the nose is going to do some movement first before we start moving all these points around to make this schnoz look a little bit more schnozish. 3/4-y. Okay, well, that's not bad. Okay, but what we make sure. Okay, the sort shape has been selected here. You can tell by these little lines here that the shapes at being stacked on one another. We can change that stacking, and it will keyframe it out so that make the turn much more appealing visually. We hope so. I have one more character to do, and that one will be, again, from complete scratch. Will it? Yes, will it? I've been thinking about this, honestly. I could take one of the male Malaran officers, like Dogran, and I could female it up and for Sienna, our intelligence officer, security officer. I didn't give away anything. What are you talking about? But I may do from scratch. I've been working on one character from scratch, and I will have to work on several other characters from scratch as well. Because I have, oh, good lord. Let's see here. When are we gonna change him? Right over down, right about to there. Okay, so draw. Okay, so I've used the shape selection tool. I need to tell everyone what I'm doing. It's very important. Selected the nostril shape. I can tell because it's got the checker pattern on there. If he has a different color, it would be, you could see that pattern, but you can't see the pattern because the color of the face underneath is the same color as the nostril, blah, 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 blah. But you can tell the checker pattern, the line is there. So that's at least something. Okay. So we're going to go up to draw, and we're going to go to lower to back. So now that nostril is now behind everything. It's going to go right back to there. Okay, so what I need to do is there needs to be a lot of changes going on here, honestly. So this nostril needs to go completely like over to there. Yes. Yes. Little Beast Wars Megatron for the fans out there. I suppose Beast Wars is was one of the finest scripted Transformers series, but unfortunately it's kind of gotten into a bit of a catching a few episodes on the Transformers channel that's on Samsung TV. The writing is still excellent, but unfortunately the visuals have aged so unfortunately. I mean, they gave the Galvatron's Revenge series a lot of hell for the way it looked, and it looks better than Beast Wars, unfortunately. But you know, these time happens. So, okay, well, you can see here that I've got a problem. That nostril covers the nose, so I need to go down as far as I can go. Okay, here we go, to where that goes behind here before that. Okay, so yeah, this is on the timeline. See, you can the little shape order thing. You can actually, you know, set that keyframe and then move it so that it will actually activate sooner. So you're not covering up. Oh, good lord! There we go. That looks good. But that looks, yeah, no, actually, that does look good. I'm gonna keep that. That's fine. Groovy. Okay. All right, we're not done with the nose yet, but we are getting close to having this nose in shape. I'm gonna go back up to see where we're at. Order here. Okay, that's not bad. That's pretty good. That's not bad. We don't probably need that there. We don't. It's not really necessary to move that stuff around, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's take a look and see what we got. Hey, that's not bad. Okay, now all that selected, and we're going to shift. Alter the keyframes. It kind of really shifts. So in 3/4 views, that face is really starting to move around. Time to get wobbly about it. All right, so let's start moving these eyes. Using the layer transform tool, we're going to select the file folder for the eye. And instead of trying to select each point and move it, or each layer, we're going to move them all uniformly. And we're going to select here and hold down shift, and we're going to squish this eye slightly, and we're going to move it over. So that's slightly more. There we go. Move it over. Okay, that's not bad, but I'm also going to squish it up a little bit too. So squish it in, squish it up, so we can get this nice little shortening effect. Very good, very good. Now we're going to move this eye over a slight bit too, to kind of make sure it's kind of moving. Very close, very, very close on this one. Ah, there we go. Beautiful. The other eye, it doesn't have to squish, but he does have to move over considerably. Okay, move them brows. Let's go to the layer, from the layer to the point transform, and let's move those brows over and move the brows over by scaling. There we go. We're so slightly right about to there. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, that's not looking bad at all. Okay, so what we need to do is we got to move this mouth. So now we're going to scale the mouth in a little bit, and we're going to move it. Each individual layer will have to have its points reorganized at a later time. Not going to worry about that right now. Bigger fish to fry, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to, like I said, I try and get all the the more simpler bits and pieces done as quickly as possible. So, and this be one of them. And I'm probably gonna have to readjust this the more that I think about it, because the hair on the side here, as you go down a sideburn, boings, and the goils will not be visible at all. No, it shall not be. Okay, so let's see what we got here. That's probably going to come up. I am pretty sure that's probably going to come to right about here, though. So let's see what we've got. Okay, I'll figure those out after I get the main face structure together. Yeah, which I do not have that currently, as you can quite see. Okay, so let's move some ears around. All right, so we're going to move. All these points are already selected, so hold down shift. We're going to move this over. Boom. But to add a little bit more of an effect on that, we're going to move that to right about here. We'll move that right about here. But in the next set, it's going to move quite a bit more because we'll be flipping over to the next side. But more on that later. So, all right, let's get a little bit of, you get a little bit of, you know, pivoting because it's supposed to be changing in perspective. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so now this other ear. Oh, so we're going to scale that up, and it's going to move. It's going to move right about to here, I believe. But you're like, wait a second, it's still behind the head. That's right. This is one of those instances where we go to very early on, and now we're going to take that ear and we're going to put it above the face, but still under the sideburns. All right, so this right now looks terrible, but I'm going to fix it. Trust me. Okay, so sideburns. Awfully long. All right, well, it's coming together. Let's get the hair front to match that a little bit more. Yes. Okay, so there we go. We're going to match that a little bit more. Get that a little bit more out to there. A little that bit out to there. There we go. There we go. All right. There we go. Okay, so yeah, don't worry about that guy right there. That's gonna get there. Okay, boom. Boom. All right, now this gets to move this way. See? All right, so now we have to do some changing up the points here to kind of get the more, because remember, the Malarans, like the Sulans, have a little bit more oblation on the skulls, meaning they have a little bit more of a, on the back side of it, it sticks out a little bit more. So, that's kind of poodoo. Yes, it is. Okay, so what are we going to do on the sideburn? How do we make the sideburn work better? Now we can grab this point here. I'm going to drag this guy over here, drag that guy over here. Now, I'm not going to worry about too much there because I'm going to move the face over very soon. Okay, left sideburn. Okay, this is going to follow about the same path that the ear did as goes, but we're going to select everything and it's just going to go the transform, it's going to scale, and then it's going to move in. Okay, and when the ear here goes forward, this is now going to go. No, it's not. Put it right about there. Yes, that is, yes. About there, put it right about there. Can I fix that? Yes, I can. All right, let's move that behind the face. Just grab that layer, drag that down the face, and now it's keyframed to disappear. I'll go shoot like that and scale behind the head. Okay. we're not going to worry about the inconsistencies on the hair just yet, because we got to get the face moved around and restructured. So let's get that face in such condition now. Oh boy. All right, so zoom out a little bit so we can get all of the face in here. And there it is. It's perfect. All right, moving right along. No. We have a lot of points to move around. So let's just grab everything, and we're going to shift this forward to kind of represent where the new chin is going to reside. Like this. Okay, so that's not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad at all. What we're going to do is, let's take a look here. All right, so yeah, so that line there, the shadow line can, of course, recede, but this line cannot recede. It's going to stay pretty close to where he is. Yes, shadow line can recede. But that line denoting skull structure needs to move forward. Yes, okay, fine, great, marvelous. All right, now I'm going to grab shadow. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. All right. No, okay, so we'll move this down here. All right, so we're gonna have to get creative with this. I can tell that already. That's not bad, actually. Well, moving it over because the eyes aren't far enough or down. What do we got here? All right, well, I don't like how that eye looks. So that eye, originally I did say that was pretty good. I now have decided that's not so good. So we're gonna move that guy back. And I'm going to take that brow, and we're going to take that brow on the point selection. Brow just a little bit. Let's see what we've got. Let's go to here and see how we're doing. Yeah, that's not bad. There's some problems. So he's got a, okay, so his bone structure is right there at the edge of the yeah. So this actually may end up falling off of the face. I'm not careful, so let's move that over. Whoop. Oh, let's move that. Ow. I'm hitting the wrong button, unfortunately. Okay. Right there. T for transform. Holding down shift key, not control. Very important. Yeah, if it's visible, it'd be just visible barely right about there anyway. So this entire face needs to come over right about to there, and that needs to go to a, whoa. Let's see what we got here on the Bezier curve. Okay, let's go ahead and no, not same with the Bezier curve. Okay, it's not bad, not bad. So we got here. Got some cheekbones on this guy, let me tell you. Well, you know. So we're gonna move this guy over. There we go. This is looking much more browish in the proper way. Yeah, come there, and we'll just kind of move this guy up to right here. Okay. Do I want to go ahead and get rid of that right about now? No, I'll leave it for right now. Okay, well, we have some problems in the hair back, you may have noticed. And those problems is that it smells a little bit more blended in the back. We need to make a... And that right there, let's see. Let's put that guy to... there we go. Also do that as well. And we'll move that up to here. that right up here underneath the ear. And that ear is almost in position, but it needs to come back a little bit more. And now we get to play with a point or two. A point or two. Jeez. All right. It's not bad. It could be worse. Okay. We gotta figure out how to get this hair front to work properly. And this is going to be very tricky, I'm afraid. So, as his hair front's going to have to sit into the hair back. What we're going to have to do is we're going to do something like that. And then the hair back is actually still going to be visible right about here. So we're going to have to move that right about there. And that is, what is that? That's the, okay, that's where it should be. Excellent. Okay, let's go back to the hair front. Make sure that these are where they should be. See, by doing all this, of course, it would really mess up if I tried to use a pivot. But now we're going to be using the pivot bone here. So we won't have to worry about any of these things running off. Well, they shouldn't be running off. By using the smart bone pivot. So, let's see. That eye still bugs me a bit. Ah, there we go. Let's go to here. That ear's just ever so slightly out of whack. Comes over. We're going to pull it right about to there, and it won't be a problem whatsoever. There we go. And you may notice there's some funky stuff going on over here, but we're going to solve that funky problem right now. Solve that funky problem right now. Or, well, try to anyway. Hair front is still a little jacked up there, but there we go. I think we just fixed that problem there. So important to do. Oh yeah. Okay, now for my next trick, I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking this entire thing and I'm going to be shifting him over. Oh crap. Not on two. Shifting him over like so. So now we have to work on the hair back a little bit there at the neck, just a slight bit, but it'd be fine. It'd be fine. So we're going to end these guys out ever so slightly. Alrighty. T for transform, and there we go. Okay, the only other thing I see bugging me is his little hair detail here is still a bit off. Hey, there we go. Look at that. This is what we call a not too bad. Not too bad at all. So this is to the three-quarter view, and there will be two other, well, actually, at 4, it'll be the profile, and then it'll be 3/4 in the back, and then it'll be the back view. So that's how it's going to all go down. I suppose before I cut this off for the night, what I should do is I should go ahead and kind of just, describe what we're doing with the mouth here. Okay, so as you say, that's not bad. But what we need to happen here is that the mouth, center of the mouth, needs to shift a little bit in order to make this more believable. Well, to honestly sell the effect here. I'm gonna grab those guys. I'm gonna drag them out to there, and so they line up underneath the nose, as they should. And now we're gonna do this for just about everything here. And there, we're doing pretty good. Hey, not bad. I know what I'm doing. And right about there. Again, wow. I've done this a lot or something. Huh, who knows? Practice, you know. There's no these things. That's a little bit too far. I'm starting to brag too soon. I tell you what. Aha! Bottom. Okay. Let me change the mouth color at a later time. Okay, so now his mouth is transforming with the rest of him. See? Looks a little bit more, as you say, believable. All right. So that's about an hour here. Okay, so for the next stream, I'm hoping that I'm going to have this guy wrapped up. I'll probably do the rest of this guy off camera. I mean, this is just general the process that you use. You hide shapes, and the next thing that happened was very quickly off here between frames 54 and 60. The eye will go to this eye here will go behind the face, and so with the brow, and these bones will go behind the face, and these features, the ear about here, the nose will go way out to here, this eye will move up to here, brow here, and mouth will considerably change shape, and that's just how it goes until you complete the turnaround. I'll show you the turnaround once it is done. But the next stream that I do will probably be of Sienna, our security officer, in the Palace of the Sword, somewhere orbiting Jazzert Prime. But I would have showed you some of the blender process for the sun I just made, the red dwarf star I just made, but it was such a incredibly painful and drawn out and tedious thing. Was crunching in several tutorials. Before I go here, let me fix this hair just a little bit. It's suddenly bugging me. And there we go. All right. And that it was no fun at all, and lots of swear words were said, and that's probably not very good. So we will get into some blender stuff once the animation is going. I'll show you the kind of the processes in blender and how I've only ever made one planet, well actually two planets. There's the gas giant type planets, and then there is the more terrestrial planets, and you got those two types, and I'm just changing colors and different slide rules on color ramps to change the topography and the features and the clouds, and it's all really cool. Once you have one planet, you don't really need to make others. You just copy that planet and tweak the material, and there you go. I'll get you into that process once we get to a planet that I don't have designed yet. Have all them designed? I might. Yes. The fucha. Yeah, does that line need to be that tall on that sideburn? The more I look at things, the more I tweak it. So, in these closing minutes here, I'm really pleased. Oh, I don't know who you are, who's just joined in, but hi. In these closing minutes here of the stream, I am going to fix a few things that are bugging me. That line doesn't need to be that big. No, not at all. Yeah, it's not bad. You know, I could probably... No, I can't because that's hiding the face to the right there. Okay, that's fine. So there we go. 3/4 view on the head turn of the actual head for this card. So let's go back here into the main line and let's just see how this all turned out. Item actions. So we're going to hone those actions there, and we're going to go eyes down, and we're going to hit the head turns just a little bit out of whack. There it is. Oh, what's going on? Nothing's happening right. I'll tell you what's going on. I'm not on frame 1. Yeah. So sometimes on frame 0, your shapes will not disappear as they should, and that will have to be fixed right there with that hair. Or shutting down the shop here. Okay, so we're going to move him over to as far as we can go there. Take a look at some of his facial expressions. Make sure everything is working the way it should. I see you can do that, but you don't need to because you've got this now. Oh, wait. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, plot twist. I didn't rig the head. What do you mean you didn't rig the head? The head should be rigged. Okay, well, I will rig the head and have everything together and show everyone next time around before we get going. Or he'll show up in episode 2, all Ghidorah. But I'm going to have to go through and I would have to go through. Now the Mara's head should work. Fine, let's change it over using our switch layer. We're going to change it over to Mara. So let's double check this guy real quick. And let's see if everything works fine here. Oh, it didn't work fine here. Oh no, something broke. Oh no. Well, shoot. I'm pretty sure I had rigged that. But maybe I did not. Well, no matter. I will have that rigged and ready to go before the next one. Should I already have had that head rigged? I'm sure I had that head rigged. On frame 1? There? Yeah. All right. Anyway, so minor problems aside on some weird rigging issues I did not check before getting started. Because I forgot where I left off last time. That's unfortunate. But next time, this guy will be completed one way or the other, and we'll be moving on to the final character needed for episode 2. Not a lot of new characters are introduced, but there are some characters in the background in the palace, and we'll see what we can do with those guys. So, all right, if there are any other questions or anything like that, doesn't appear to be in the chat. I was actually checking it this time. Haha. So I will see everyone out there. Evening.